Okay, so welcome to today's session on using iMovie for learning as part of our series of webinars we've been doing over the last couple of weeks and we'll do over the next couple of weeks as well. Like I said, today we're going to be looking at how we can use movies to support learning. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Matt Pullen, Senior Lecturer at the University of South Wales and also an Apple Professional Learning Specialist. And one thing to say on the back of these webinars, they go through quite quick. Obviously, there's limited interaction that we can do whilst I'm presenting. But if you have any questions, there are various ways that you can get in touch with me following either on Twitter, you can email me, or you can go to my website where I've tried to start documenting some things, and I'll continue to add those over time. Okay, so in today's session, we are going to be using Clips and iMovie and also looking at the option of screen record and how you can utilize screen record in both of those other apps as well to develop some intro hook learning sequences, and also how students would be able to use Movie within their classroom to demonstrate their knowledge and understanding of things. So we're going to start by looking at Clips. Clips is such a really simple tool to use. It's a free app. It comes on the iPad if you first purchase an iPad, or you can download it if you haven't got it already on your device. It's a really simple way to make movies in an instant. It literally takes as long as the movie lasts to be able to make the movie. It really is a very simple process. You can add voiceover to the clips, which also supports a lot of the processes, because certainly in a class environment, or even for teachers and lecturers, when you're recording any voiceover and you're doing it in one lump sum, it can, you make a mistake, you've got to start the whole thing again. You could be 3 minutes into doing a voiceover, make a mistake, you feel you need to do the whole 3 minutes. What you can do in Clips is break it down into small bite-sized chunks, script it for yourself, and this is a great thing to do with learners as well. Script what they're going to say over each image or video, and just record that one bit. If you make a mistake, you just delete out that one clip, and then you carry on. Another great thing about Clips is the ability to enhance what's on the visuals with stickers or text, and also the ability to add in live titles. And live titles, when we look at anything around accessibility for learners, EAL learners, young learners that haven't quite got the English language yet to be able to read it, it just helps so many different people, okay, when you're being able to do these things. So I'm going to jump into Clips, go through some of the basics. I'm going to mock something up, show how I would put these things together. And also yesterday, Apple updated Clips. There's a couple of new features in there, which I think have really kind of changed the approach to how you can use Clips, both as teachers and for students. So I'm going to jump out and go to Clips on my device. So Clips is the one just by here with a little camera icon on it. And then go ahead and open that up. And this is where my projects sit. So along the top here would be any projects that I've previously made. And to create a new one, I just tap on Create New. And just a little bit of the anatomy again, really. I usually like to start with, what is it you're looking at? This icon here flips the camera around. Usually it starts in selfie mode. I've turned it around because we're getting to that point of lockdown where my hair is a mess, so you're not seeing me at the moment. So flip the camera around, add music, we'll come on to that a little bit later. This button here is for taking photos. Now, this is an interesting point because Clips is a video making tool. And if you just add a picture in, a picture needs a length of time. So you can take photos, but you then need to tap on the big red record button here in order to give it a length of time to add it to your project. We then have the options here of either using the camera, which is the mode we're in at the moment, go into your camera library, so any pictures you might have saved or previously taken, photos and videos, and then posters. Like I said, this is your big red record button. This is the button you push to add effects to anything. So if you want to change filters, add stickers, etc., and we'll look at that in more detail in a second. And then finally, your live titles. This is where you can instantly caption your videos with your voice to make that whole process really quick and simple. So I'm going to jump straight in and start to have a look at how we could create our own movie. Now, I am actually going to do a selfie for this, so just bear with me. I'm going to turn the camera around onto me. Hi. And I'm just going to record a selfie. Now, to record a selfie, quite a simple way to do this is I'm going to tap on the red record bar and slide up. And that's going to give me a constant recording. And then I can just tap it again to stop that recording. So I've just taken that selfie and I've got that recorded onto my device. And I'm going to use that a little bit later. And we're just going to have a look at the different things we can do. So the next thing I want to add in is I'm going to go to my library. I'm going to make a video about volcanoes. Okay, so I've got some pictures on my device here that I could use. I'm going to choose this one here. And I've got this picture of a volcano and I want to add in some more information. Okay, so if I tap on the effects button, which is the star, you'll see that I can change these effects. You know, change the filters depending on what you're doing. And I'll show this a little bit later when I look at the selfie of me. If I want to take out the detail, if you really don't want to be in the picture, or for some individuals you can't have them in the picture, you can still have what looks like a person but take out their familiar features. I can also add text. Now I'm going to add in some text here to just give some context to the picture. Okay, so just choose any of these nice formats. Volcanoes erupt. And I can place that wherever I want just by dragging it around, 2 fingers to pinch, to zoom, to drag it around, and you can add in some information. So you can add in text. There's lots of different text formats in there. They're all editable, but you can't change the colors or anything. You can change the size, obviously, by pinching to zoom. You can change what the text is, but you can't change the colors. Okay, and again, there's a reason for that. Is because it's the simplicity. There are lots of stickers as well that you can add in. So I'm just going to go along to stickers. These ones are really, really useful education-wise. There are some silly ones that you can add in, and there are some Mickey Mouse ones and Star Wars ones that young learners might like to use, or adults as well. But these ones here tend to be, really, really useful. So I'm just going to use the arrow, and it just gives me the option, to point to where the volcano is erupting. And then all I need to do is add that clip in. Along the bottom, you can still see it's just the one clip of my face. So this clip hasn't been added yet. I need to add a length of time. Tap and hold. You'll see that the words animate in, the arrow animates in, and I've created a new clip along the bottom of the screen. Now I'm going to add in another picture now, show you something else. So let's say that I haven't added in my the star with all of the filters and the stickers, etc. Let's just say I'll go straight in to record this clip. And I can pinch to zoom and stop that recording. If I just play that one back now, you'll see that zoom happens as well, so you can use it to kind of pinpoint specific parts. But let's just say that actually I probably should have added in some text onto that. Now I could re-record the whole thing. This is something new that they've added in. If I tap on split, what I can do is choose the exact point where I want to split that clip, and it will instantly just turn it into 2 clips. On the second clip, I tap on effects, and I'm just going to add in some text that just, let's just say lava flow. And place that on the screen wherever I want to place that on the screen. And then what happens is because I've just instantly clipped it, if I play that again now, it still looks like one video, but the text appears on the screen at that instant. So I haven't had to re-record. I just split the clip, add in the text. And then if I, when I played that then, I realized that the text was way too big. So I can make that smaller, play that back, simple edit. And all of a sudden now I've changed the look of that. So a really, really simple way to add those things in. Now, the last thing I'm just going to show across the top. So we've looked at adding in the camera. We've looked at the library. And the last thing I'm going to look at here is the posters. Now, these are great. These are all pre-made posters that you can use and drop into your work as segues between bits. Really good as intros, obviously. So I'm just going to choose this one here. Again, I can tap on the text and change this. There we go. Just something nice and simple. Study of volcanoes. Tap and hold the red button again to record. You'll see it animates that in quite nicely. But the problem I've got is that my entry video is actually at the end. So really quick and simple way to edit this. Tap, hold, drag it to the start. And that selfie I took earlier, I'm actually going to drag to the end. So again, nice and simple, move that to the end. Now, on that selfie, I'm going to change some of this. So I'm going to tap on effects. I've already recorded in this clip, but I'm going to tap on effects. This time I'm going to go to emoji. I don't really want to be in the clip, so I can tap on some emojis. I can make them nice and big. Now on the screen, you probably can see like a yellow square that goes around. What that does is it's actually mapping the emoji to my face. So now it's like a mask. It doesn't just stick as a sticker on the screen. It's a mask that sticks to my face. And as I move my face, you'll notice the sticker moves at the same time. I probably could have done more head movements to be able to show this a little bit easier. Then I might want to add some other things into there as well. I might put a nice love heart at the top of my head there or something. But you've got dozens and dozens of emojis there that you can play with as well. And they can be a really, really good way of having students express themselves. So if I go back to the start of my video now, I've got my nice intro. Goes to that picture with some annotated elements to it. I'm going to go to that detail and that zoom in with the text added as well. And then finally that emoji of myself just to finish things off. And that's really the basics of how easy it is to create a movie, right? So effects with the star, different ways of adding things in. Now the last thing I'm going to add in is the live titles, because the live titles are really, really critical to add an extra element to this. Now, to do this, I'm going to add a new clip in. So I'm going to go back to my library, choose a new picture, tap on live titles, and then I can choose where I want those titles to go. Okay, so there's lots and lots of different formats here that you can use depending on how you want it to look. I'm going to use the one with the red along the bottom, volcanoes red, sort of symbolizing the heat and everything. And you'll see there it says speak while recording to add the text. So I'm going to tap on the X, and I'm going to tap on that record button and just add a voiceover. This is my favorite volcano in the whole of the world. It's beautiful. Let go. And now if I play that back, you'll see that you have that text to speak feature instantly recorded over the top of my videos. Now I've made an accessible video that anybody would be able to access. So nice and simple. And again, I'm just going to change the order of that and place that back in here. Now we've got some really, really nice effects on our video. The last thing I can do is to add some music. So if I tap on the music notes, tap soundtracks, there are dozens of royalty-free soundtracks that you can use on your videos. That means that you can use these and share them with students, share them on social media, share them with parents. It's all royalty-free, so I'm going to cost anybody any money and you're not breaking any copyright laws. I'm just going to go ahead and just choose something. It's not going to work over the WebEx. You can't hear it for yourselves, but I can tap and choose it. You can see it's playing, the sound bars are moving, the tick is next to it. When I'm happy with that, I tap tick, that instantly plays that music or adds that music to my video. And what it also does is they're intelligent soundtracks, which means that they will automatically adjust to the length of my video. So I don't even need to crop them, to fade them out at the end. It will do all of that instantly for you and give you a really, really nice ending to your music as if you've edited it all yourself. Tap done, and there's my video created. The very last thing to do is tap on the share icon, and then I can save that video to my camera roll or export it as a project. For instance, if I wanted to create the start of something and share that project with my learners, they could add in the voiceovers, they could add in the annotations to those screens. So lots and lots of different ways you could do it. I'm just going to show this one now because this is just an example. This is a project of how to use it as a how-to guide. So I've used these before to support students, other lecturers, etc. So I open this, you can see all I've done is taken screenshots, added the ticks and the arrows pointing to specific areas. And if I just play that through, again, there is music to this that you can't hear. I've got that voiceover. I've got the text on the screen as well. So you can't hear that I'm talking on this video. The text is there, proving the point. I've used the arrows to point to specific things on the screen as well. And it's just a really, really simple way of demonstrating learning. Now, if in any of those pictures you took a photo of students' work and had them talk about their work, had them highlight certain things, you could use this to mark students' work, take photos of their work, highlight the things that you think they've done really well, highlight the things that need to improve. You're creating a video that is easier for them to access, probably more chance that they're going to watch it. a lot more fun for you to make rather than writing reams and reams of feedback on their work. We could use this as a video to introduce a new topic, show it on the screen at the front. Students could use this to demonstrate their learning in lots of ways. So lots and lots of different ways that you can use clips in the classroom. Okay, so moving on, let's go back to our slides. Next thing we're going to look at is iMovie. Now, iMovie is like Clips Plus. It's the things that allow you to go deeper with your use of movie in the classroom. So you can go deeper with your editing. There are additional options in here that can make movies even better. So we'll have a look at those in terms of picture-in-picture and green screen. And then have a look at how you can add voiceovers to things, etc., etc. So just the other features. So I'm going to jump into iMovie here. When I first go into it, first screen I get is the place where all my projects might be. I'm going to tap on plus. I get two options here. First one being the movie. That's your general editing tool. And the one to the right is trailers. Now I'm going to start on trailers because trailers is a really, really interesting tool to use in the classroom, especially when it comes to things like literacy projects, because what it does is creates a trailer. I'm going to play this indie version here as if it's a trailer to a new movie that's coming out. So all of this is built in. You can change the text on the screen, and obviously you put your own videos, pictures in order to create this. So some of the ideas I've had around using this with learners is get them to read a book, get them to choose along the bottom what type of book it is, and then get them to create their own book review to some extent, where they would introduce the book by thinking about the key elements. So I'll take the superhero one, for example, tap create. And what you start with here is an outline. Okay, so along the right-hand side here, I can choose who are the main characters. Okay, so having read the book, this could be, let's say, for example, this is a Harry Potter book. I can change that the cast, cast member 1 is Harry. He's also known as, I don't know, the Chosen One. And say whether he's male or female, etc., etc. You can edit all of that. Along the top, the movie name. So I can change that again. You can see on the right-hand side, it instantly changes for me. So I can see what it's going to look like in my movie. Further down, it's called High Def Films. Well, do you know what? A nice personalised touch to this is make the movie studio your name instead. And you can change the logo. Now, Galaxy for something like Harry Potter probably doesn't work. So we could do something like, Street Lamp or something. You've got all of these built in. And then down the bottom, the credits. This is the nice thing. Who's done this? So you can put your name, you can put your group name into all these things. Nice, a lot of fun. The next thing then is your storyboard. And this is where you start to actually build. So again, all of the blue lines you can change. So this one here where it says the Hobsons were an average family. Well, actually, mine isn't going to be about the Hobsons. So mine is going to say Hogwarts was a great school, whatever you might want to put. And then the next thing is I go to the next box, and on the left-hand side, you'll see that it gives me the option to add in some pictures. So I don't think I've got any pictures of Harry Potter on my device or anything. So let's just have a look. What's on here? Let's go to some photos. Oh, do you know what? I've got some castles. Let's put a castle in. I know it's not Hogwarts, but you get the idea. You drop in a picture and it instantly gives you that time. I don't need to edit these things. I can, if I want to, jump to the next picture. I'll choose another picture, and it's that easy to build. I'm just going to go through all of these now and just put in some random pictures just so you get the idea of how quick and easy it is for me to build this. I'll jump in and put some planets in. I appreciate that this isn't necessarily a Harry Potter type thing, but that's how quick and easy it is. So from a student's point of view, they would have sourced their pictures, found some great images that they want to use, or drawn their own images and taken photos of them. Could also be videos as well, so they could do some live acting. This could become a part of a drama activity. All sorts of ways that they can do it. If I go back to the very start then, and if I let's go to here and tap play, on the left-hand side, you'll see I get a preview instantly of my movie. So Pullen Films, then it goes into that Hogwarts was a great school. And then it's going to tap on those pictures and just zoom through each one. And you can see that that's a quick and easy way to build a trailer. So that's trailers. Really, really useful, just intro for things. 1 minute long. you don't really need to do much editing. So very similar to clips in that sense. And the second one to look at then is the movie element. Now, when you first tap into movie, you get all of your videos and everything here and pictures. I'm going to ignore that and go straight to create movie. So we start with a blank page. Now I'm going to add in a few things here. I tap on the video. I can go to all my videos that I've created. I can choose a video. Here's the clips one I've shown you before. Tap on the plus. That drops the video down for me. So just again, the anatomy of what we're looking at. The top bit is my video. The bottom bit is the sound recording. So you can detach that audio. If I didn't want my voice on that bit, I can get rid of it. I've done this before with, I call it like the David Attenborough session, where you have a video of like the penguins, etc., or whatever it is they're doing. You detach the audio of David Attenborough talking about it, and you ask the students to do their own voice recording over the top of the video. Okay, so that's just an activity. To do that, they just tap on the microphone over on the left-hand side and record their voice over the top. So that's a really, really simple way to do that. So when I'm in that video, let's imagine that I want to edit it somewhere. I can scroll through, tap on the video. Along the bottom now, this is where my inspector bar is. I can split the video, which then enables me to take out sections. So if I split it again here, I could then delete that section out. You can increase the speed or decrease the speed. That can be quite useful if you're doing things like science activities. You can show things in more detail or slow them down. I can change the volume. If I don't want, if the volume's too quiet on one of the clips or it's too loud, you can change the volume. And similar to in clips that we were looking at before, I can also add in titles. So along the bottom here, there are various different titles that you might want to use for titling different sections of your video. Now again, that's the reason why you would want to split, because if I put that title in here, tap on the screen, just change those titles. That now is going to be on the entire video. So what I would need to do is, if I wanted it to say hello at a certain point, but not any further than this, is split the clip, and then the titles aren't on the next bit. They stay on the first bit and not on the second clip. Okay, so very similar to clips, but this is giving you more power to do a lot more things. Filters, again, similar to clips. You know, if you want to change the filters, etc., there's different ways that you can show that thing. Okay, I'm going to come out of that and go back in and start another new project, show you some of the other great features of this. Now let's imagine I wanted to put together a green screen movie. Now, iMovie also allows you to do green screen. So I'm going to put in a photo in the background of a castle. So this is my background of my iMovie. At the moment, can you see it moves as well? That's called the Ken Burns effect. I don't want it to move, I want it to be static. So if I tap on the picture and turn off Ken Burns, it means the picture is going to stay in one place. And I'm going to go back to my media, go to video. And I've got this green screen recording here that my son kindly did for me a little bit earlier. Now, instead of just adding that clip, I'm going to tap on the 3 dots next to the play icon. And you see there are some different ways that I can add this clip in. Now, if I wanted it to just be a concurrent video clip, picture after picture, just drop them down into timeline. But doing it this way, I have some additional options. So I'm going to work through these all. First one I'm going to look at is the green blue screen. I'll tap on that, drop him in, and then instantly you can see I've got green screen. Okay, so I've got that ability to use this for green screen. Now the reason it says green blue screen is because actually it can get rid of lots of colors. If I tap on that video along the top and tap on reset, you'll see that it picks up the green. I'm going to tap on his blue t-shirt instead, and you'll see that instead of getting rid of the green, I'm now getting rid of the blue. And it will pick up most colors, to be honest, with this. You just choose the color you want to get rid of. There's a reason that they do it with green and blue, is because they're very defined colors. If you have, like, you know, merging colors or shades of colors, it can be a little bit more difficult. But that's a simple process. So now I've changed the color of his t-shirt instead. So do that once again, tap on the video itself, tap reset, tap the color you want to get rid of, and there we go. We now have the green to get rid of. So that's one really, really simple process. Another way to do it, if I just get rid of that top video, is I'm going to add that video in, but this time I'm going to add it in picture. And now what this does is very similar to kind of the like weather forecaster or news reporter effect. Now he's in a clip in the picture. And again, if I tap on that image, or the video, sorry, I have some additional options here. I can move where I want him to be, and if I pinch it, I can resize it and place it where I think it needs to go. And again, that will just stick in that corner for the length of the video. So that's a really, really simple thing to do as well. And again, you know, as creative educators, you can think of lots of ways that you could use that in the classroom. I'm just going to delete that one out. In fact, I'm going to delete both of those for this last one. The last one is to do comparison videos. So I've got some videos here of my son playing softball or practicing some softball. I'm going to add the clip. What I actually want to do here is I'm going to edit this because it's quite long. So after the first hit, I'm going to tap on split. I'm just going to delete the rest of this because I don't need all of that clip. So a quick way to edit. So I'm going to choose this next clip, but actually what I'm going to do this time is tap the three dots and go to split screen. Now what this does is it now gives me the two videos side by side. Now what I want to do is on that top one, I'm going to edit it a bit. I think I've actually chosen exactly the same video twice. Makes this a little bit bizarre to do. Yeah, let me delete that one and try again. I think this one here is a different video. So tap on three dots, split screen. There we go. Right, that makes more sense. So now I've got these two videos and I can actually compare the technique from one video to the next. So really good in things like PE or science or drama or anything where you want to compare two things. You know, it just gives you that other option of being able to compare and contrast things in a very visual way. So you can look at timing, all sorts. Used to use this in PE. Really, really great way of being able to do comparisons of things. So that's iMovie. That's fundamentally all the things. Like I said, you can add in pictures, you can add in video. Similar to clips, I also have all of the music under soundtracks. So those same music tracks that you had that you can use. Again, there are dozens in there that you can use. And there's also sound effects as well. So this is where you can get, you know, really detailed with your learners in a classroom. They could create all sorts of crazy videos here and add in soundtracks, and you know, there's lots and lots of different sound effects that they can add in to enhance their work. Okay, so that's iMovie. The last one to look at then is really, really simple, and that is screen recording. And screen recording is the best way really to record absolutely anything on your screen that you want to record. So I could just do a simple screen recording of this as I present it now and share this out, but I'm doing it as a WebEx, so I've kind of got that facility elsewhere. A couple of ways that we can do this to really support in the classroom. If I go to, we looked at notes earlier in the week on a different event. So I'm going to go to a new note, and I've got my pencil set up. I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to change, put the lines and grids in. I'll do with a grid like this. And let's imagine I wanted to use this to demonstrate something to my learners in terms of how to do a maths problem. Okay. If I scroll down from the top right, the icon that's grayed out at the moment because I'm already sharing my screen, the grey icon with the circle inside the circle, if I tap and hold on that, it enables me to record my screen. So let's imagine then I'm in the class, I'm displaying my iPad to the screen of learners, and I want to show them how to set out a very, very simple scatter graph. I can demonstrate it on my screen like this. I can do, you know, all the labeling, etc. that I might need to do, so they have that exact replica of what they might need to do in their books, etc. I can show them how to plot those things and to sort of make that best fit line. But if I've screen recorded this, I can then share this video to the students using Seesaw, using Shobi, using Teams, using Google Classroom, whatever it might be, and they have that video to watch as many times as they want. In a classroom, I could have one iPad on each table if I'm limited to devices, and airdrop that video to each one of those tables. So if the students have a question on how to do something that I've just shown them, they just push play on the video and just watch it as many times as they want. And again, as teachers, you can be creative. It could be down to, you know, how to set up the their date on their pages, if they're doing this in their books. You know, what should they do? How do they underline things? It's anything you demonstrate. If you do it on your iPad and then share it to them, they've got that video to play as many times as they want. Again, it could be handwriting, could be how to do letter formation, could be all sorts of things. And it doesn't just work on notes, it works on any app because it's the screen record on the device. So you could do a how-to video on how to use any of the apps and then share them the video. You could show them a website, share them the video. So really, really simple way to do that. And again, once you've made that video, you could always drop that video back into clips and enhance it even further by putting titles onto it, by adding a soundtrack underneath it, all sorts of things. So that's it really. That's using Movie in the classroom and the reasons why you would use some of those things in the classroom. I'm sure as educators you will have a million ideas of what you can do with that, but it's really, really simple. The one last thing I need to show you, if you don't have screen recording on your device, is where to add that. So I'm going to go into settings. On the left hand side here, I have Control Center. And then I'm going to tap on Customize Controls. And screen recording is in that top section on mine because I have it included. On yours, if it's not there, it will be in this bottom section. And you simply just tap on the green plus. If I just turn mine off, you'll see that screen recording is now in the bottom section. Tap on the plus and it moves to the top section. And then it's dragged down from the top right where the battery icon is. And you'll see it as the circles. So there we go. That's using iMovie in the classroom. As ever, we'd love to see people turn up to the South Wales RTC sessions. They're all free and you can come along and we can go into a lot more detail on how to do this and we can walk through it. If you need to get in touch with me, like I said, I am Matt6453 on Twitter. Hope everyone has a lovely Easter and tune in next week for sessions on distance learning and some sketchnoting, and I will send out some emails about that and also the recording of this video. Thank you very much.